made out of organic compounds. But right now someone actually recently discovered that running drops of salt water across graphene produces an electric current on it. And it is a source of solar power, so that's like one avenue where it works. Another one for like what machines would be made out of, or ceramics. One I was thinking of would be silicon carbide. It's just made of silicon and carbon, and it's ceramic like a clay pot, or actually, shoot, I really should have looked into the specifics on how hard it is, but I think its melting point is higher than iron, but somehow there's a process where you can forge it together without getting it to its melting point. If you have it like in a powdered form, you heat it to like lower than its melting point, it can still form a new solid.
Oh yeah, that's heat welding.
Yeah, sintering, that was the word.
Okay.
But yeah, heat welding might be another word for it. And basically, yeah, when I was here last 2 weeks ago, Derek asked me what I was interested in, and yeah, that's what I'm interested in, producing technologies that can sustain people from materials they can get around them for free, with the blueprints for free off of the internet.
So basically,
And I thought I was
going
gonna
to
say
give
something.
people like the tools to basically take care of themselves.
Yeah, and the questions we were gonna talk about tonight is like,
Are you anti-government? Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry, go ahead.
Are you like anti-government
On principle, on principle, yeah, but I do believe the government is capable of making good decisions. When you have enough resources, you're capable of making good or bad decisions. It's just when it's like really centralized. When somebody gets to be that powerful, I think it's a question of accountability. You don't give somebody that much power who's incapable of getting, having consequences dealt to them.
And selecting the chairs for bi-weekly syndicalist meetings.
Oh, what was it? We act in turns as a sort of executive officer of the week, but all bi-weekly decisions of that officer have to be ratified by a 2/3 majority in the case of purely internal affairs. Wait, by a simple majority. I'm trying to quote Monty Python and the Holy Grail here.
We got it.
Well, I knew you got it.
Yeah, I know. It's guy explains how there's anarcho-syndicalist commune works.
No, it was this comedy. It was this comedy group that was making fun of King Arthur.
Yeah.
And he was walking up to some peasants looking for somebody to join him on his quest to find the Holy Grail. And he's like, "Who lives in that castle over there?" "Oh, no one lives there." "What? Then who is your lord?" "We don't have a lord." And there's like this commune of peasants that had a funny way of managing their affairs that King Arthur couldn't understand, because
He's a monarchist.
Yeah.
it's a monarchy.
He's a king.
He doesn't understand democracy because it's like what, 900 AD.
I don't even try to make sense of it.
Oh, I know, because there's the Arthur of legend, and
It
there's
would
the Arthur
be-
who actually existed, who was actually a Roman centurion, but who cares?
Armor is before that. Whatever.
So I guess the idea is, if there was post-scarcity in a particular resource, like if we'd had a post-scarcity of energy, where energy was so easy to access and harvest that it's almost like it's abundant.
We would be able to figure out a way to condense that.
Yeah. Well, the idea is like the government is right now trying to regulate how one's use of resources may affect others, so they set down these rules to try and prevent infringements from one person to another. But if there was an idea like there's no scarcity in electricity, like my use of energy like isn't going to negatively affect. Right. So one thing that was mentioned earlier was like there are forces at work that want to maintain scarcity so that they can continue to profit off of it, or just maintain a control.
Really short-sighted. They want to keep things the way they are, but that's, I think, generally in history that's not gone out. We always try to make things better. No, that's the whole name of the game. Make it so that your children are more of a spoiled brat than you were.
Mm-hmm. But right now we do have like a bit of an information scarcity as far as like if we think of foreign policy, the government's doing all these things all over the world in the name of national security. We can't know what's going on because terrorism, whatever.
Well, there are a couple conspiracy theories that I prescribe to the Iraq War. I think I haven't done. I say it's a conspiracy theory because I haven't done nearly enough research on it, and I just took it at face value. And so,
Which is it?
The one that said that the reason we went to Iraq War was because Saddam Hussein wanted to start trading his oil in euro.
Oh.
I heard, yeah, he didn't want to use the dollar, and I think Iran doesn't use the dollar as well, and there's all these economic sanctions on them.
Unlikely.
More likely than that, they had nukes, though. I take that back immediately.
More likely than having nukes. Go back to the New York Times of 2001. Read what I didn't find in Nigeria.
What didn't you find in Nigeria?
Yellow cake uranium.
Ah.
Like the whole justification for going to war in Iraq was that Saddam Hussein, was refining uranium that he was importing from Nigeria and using it to irradiate Iranians.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did we get to the subject of why the Iraq War was started?
It's information scarcity.
Information. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's like an information control thing.
Well, that's right. What I was thinking was the bottom line of that conspiracy theory is that the people running the economy, or the people who control, let's say, the values of currencies or the values of certain commodities, or let's say just even American authority over oil trades, they're supremely short-sighted, because there's an often quoted statistic that I read, and I haven't even bothered to look into that one. Is that we took all the money we spent on the Iraq War and stopped before we had started, we could have taken that money and installed solar panels on everybody's house in America. I mean, even if it's off by a couple orders of magnitude, I think the point is valid. Because if you're going to believe that the Iraq War was started so that American oil companies could continue thriving, and I think that was like that was the general assumption of Democrats as I understood it. I don't have.
Oil was the slogan.
Yeah, no blood for oil. So the assumption was that this war was started for the sake of the profiteering of American corporations. And that's extremely short-sighted.
It may be short-sighted, but no one's ever accused of people who go to war as being eyeing the long term.
Thank you. Yeah. If people actually look to solutions, they'd see not every it's not really a zero-sum game. There are ways we can help we can spend money to help people that doesn't make the person spending it suffer. So what exactly were you getting at with the whole idea of information scarcity?
Well, I guess it's something that it's maintained by authority now.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The fact that supposedly we have these ideas that there's a free press in the United States, and that like information can be readily shared, but when this information is labeled as national security or military intelligence or whatever, then these restrictions are placed on it.
No, I think I just discovered why I've been mumbling for the past 5 minutes, and that's because you look at the people who are trying to enforce scarcity and enforce the need to go out and get a job for everybody, and you just have to ask why. If somebody's okay, let's think about it. If that woman in Florida, for example, who was collecting her own rainwater and generating her own electricity, who was required by either the state or the county to stay on the grid for safety reasons. I guess my first thought is that if she were collecting her own rainwater and generating her own electricity, that's less tax revenue for the government. And the couple people in government making the decision to fine her until she gets plugged into the grid are probably thinking, if we get that tax money, which our budget depends on, we can continue to function and continue to help people. Because I really do think that people in government think they're helping people, and in some cases they are. There are just better ways on living your life. So Kaylin, what are you into as far as
Well, I mean, funny how today I happened to be coming over and you're talking about scarcity of resources. Today, I saw this video and it referenced